So for my learning outcome, I decided to talk about some famous historians from the time of 1930s all the way to World War II. And during that time frame, they mostly talked about maturation, and maturation can be defined as the sequence of movement skills. So during that time frame, there was a famous historian called Arnold Gesell, who was considered the first historian in motor development. And the reason why he was also famous was because he had a method called the code-twin method. And basically what the code-twin method is you have two identical twins, same in genes, but Arnold Gesell wanted to see what would happen if you were to expose one of them to a different experience. How is the developmental rate going to look? How is the developmental sequence going to look? So when he had the two twins, he wanted to expose one of them to a different experience, and how would that look? So an example I could give is that, say you have two twins, same in genes, and you were to teach one of them more often to pick up an object. So over time, that child will learn to pick up the object and eventually be better at it, while the untrained child, because he has less practice, he will not be doing it so often. So for the developmental rate, they found that the trained child was able to learn the skill faster due to the different experience than the untrained child. So for the developmental rate, they found that there was change in it, while for the developmental sequence, they found that there was really no change. It was invariable, it was short-lived, there was really nothing to it. So when it came down towards the end of the study, they came to an understanding that there's a difference between the developmental rate and the developmental sequence, and that the rate can change as long as you're exposed to different experience, or like different environmental experience. As long as there's experience, it could be changed. As for the sequence, it actually showed that it was resistance to change, and that's what Arnold Gesell was able to see. And he was able to do this in infants, but later on, after World War II, they started to apply it to school-aged children. The study started to go more towards motor development in school-aged children than infants, just to see how it would look differently in different ages.